Assalamu alaikum and welcome Tareq Zahirul Haque and audience of Scientific Bangladesh to the third episode of Prattle with PhD. Today we'll hear the story of PhD from Tareq Zahirul Haque, who is going to be doctor very soon. He has submitted his PhD. So let's, in advance, I call you Dr. Tareq Zahirul Haque. You are welcome to our episode.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moniruddin Ahmed, for inviting me on this Scientific Bangladesh platform. You have already mentioned doctor, but basically I haven't yet submitted my PhD thesis. So I'm hoping to get the degree soon, but still I have to wait maybe for half a year or 6 months or more than, I don't know. So there is a process. So anyway, thank you so much. And thanks everyone who has joined us today or will join soon. Thanks everyone.
Thank you for joining. So what I usually do when I get the contact number for a PhD student, I save the number with doctor and name. So I know who has started the PhD, they will become doctor. So
we hope so.
From that point, yes, you will be the doctor very soon. We are sure for that one. However, at the beginning, we'd like to know your academic life from where you are from to the position where you are at the present. We'd like to know your education from primary school to PhD.
In terms of my academic background, I am from Netrokona, Kendua Upazila. So I did my primary and secondary education in Kendua, Netrokona district. Then I moved to Dhaka for my higher secondary education. And I got admission into the Notre Dame College in 1991. Yeah. And yeah, then after that, I, came to Dhaka University and admitted into the Department of Zoology, Karjan Hall, and then completed my honors and masters from the Department of Zoology, University of Dhaka. So after completing my masters, I joined in some, temporary work in city corporation. After that, ICDDB, then Mastermind English Medium School, and finally, I, joined the Bangladesh Civil Service in 2005. I'm a member of Bangladesh Civil Service 24th batch, and I have already, passed like around 16 years in Bangladesh Civil Service. But during my, work in the civil service, I did 2 masters. One is from North-South University on public policy and governance, which was actually under NORAD fellowship. Then finally, I got another, chance to study in Australia on public policy and management degree under Australia Award Scholarship. Then, there is a, mandatory provision to go back to the home country and provide service for 2 years after completing the, OZ degree. And I just I started, OZ course in 2014 and completed in 2015, and then went back to Bangladesh at the end of 2015 and joined my service, and then also provided service for 2 years, and then again I came back to Melbourne, Australia for my PhD degree. So I came to Australia in 2018 June for my PhD. So it's my fourth year. Last year, very final, stage of my PhD journey, and because of the pandemic, I had to extend my PhD candidature for about 6 months. So hopefully I'll finish my PhD journey soon, within 4 or 5 months. Then it will take another 2 to 3 months to get the result. That's all about my education. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to know all the story about your study, uh, from the origin to the present position. You have three master degree.
Yeah.
Uh, I think two closely related field: public policy and governance, then public policy and management.
Management.
Before that, you have master degree in geology.
Yeah.
So, if we see, you have master degree from the, we can say, the oldest and best university, public university in Bangladesh. Then one of the top private university in Bangladesh. Then another one in one of the top university of the world. My question is, why you went for PhD, or why you had to go for PhD, even if you have three master degree, as a BCS cadre.
Yeah. Uh, I'm basically a government official, as I mentioned. So I, spent already, more than 16 years of my career in Bangladesh civil service. But as I mentioned, I came to Australia in 2014 for my master degree. I got the was it scholarship, and then came to Australia to to acquire new skills, knowledge, and network. Australia Awards is a very prestigious scholarship. So I took this opportunity and came to Australia and did study in public policy and management, being a civil servant. And while doing my, masters in public policy and management at the University of Melbourne, I had one minor thesis. And actually, this is the turning point why I am here for PhD now. So from this minor thesis, I was encouraged my the then supervisor Scott Brandon, who encouraged me to further, go with the research. And then the problem, as I mentioned, so after completing my master's, I had to go back to my country for years to serve my country for 2 years. That was the mandatory provision of Aussie scholarship. But I had a strong intention. I'll come back again for my for my PhD research work, because I got interested to do the degree from my master's. At that time, I worked on my PhD research is about the climate change and development in the context of Bangladesh. Then I thought, yeah, if I can further, progress my study, advance my study in the related arena, why should I not come back to uh, Australia again? And this is one thing. And another thing is being a civil servant, as you mentioned, why I have to do the PhD, as you mentioned. So what I have, seen in my career in Bangladesh civil service. So we are the government official. We are doing our job. We are strongly engaged with public policy planning, providing services to the people. A lot of things we actually do. But what I have seen, we have the academics, researchers. So I have seen there is a huge gap between the public officials and the academics or researcher, or the people who are engaged in research or scientific work. Then I thought, so this is the best way to get oriented with the research work, the PhD work. Then I'll have the collaboration with the academic people, and this is the one way we can actually close this gap, because I believe that so we, the civil servant alone, cannot actually uh, do the proper or effective, efficient service to the people, to the communities, unless we have the proper data, unless we have the proper research background, unless we have the proper information. So I have found there is a huge gap between the scientific and research knowledge and the information and the decisions or we make in our daily activities. So I think one is there is no collaboration between the civil servants and the academics. This is one reason. And the way now academics in Bangladesh, they produce knowledge, actually that's why the civil servant, because of the lack of the collaboration, we cannot actually always extract the knowledge or the information from them, because we both cohort of the groups, we are not well working together. So this is the gap I have found. That's why I thought, if I can be oriented with the research work, we can make a collaboration, and when I'll go back to my country, join my service, and I can collaborate so many academics. Like through this research, I have already connected many Bangladeshi scientists, academics. So now I can easily make collaboration when I'll be in my country to provide service to the people. This is important thing, I believe. And yeah, this is the main reason. So yeah.
Okay, we got the point. Yeah, that's one important point, because there is always gap between academics
And by this
and
time, I would
policy.
like to mention another thing. Sorry, recently our government has introduced some, research or PhD program. Like we have 3 PhD programs at the moment. Government is undertaking. One is the Prime Minister Fellowship. Another one is, Bangabandhu Fellowship, and also our Ministry of Public Administration. They also, conducting on PhD programs. So there are a lot of opportunities now from the government side. That means the government is encouraging the civil servant to go abroad for higher studies, for PhD, so that government has the policy to make decisions or planning based on the research, or based on the good communication with the scientific communities. So this is why government is taking this initiative to close the gap between the scientific community or the academic community and the civil servant, for the betterment of our country, because we are now approaching to the upper middle income country soon, and we have the ambition to get to the developed country by 2041. Yeah.
Hope the initiative taken by the government will be good for the country, not the way for brain drain. That is a one important problem. We might discuss it later.
Sure.
So I have one question about, from your CBIC. Your PhD topic is urban planning and sustainability, and at the present moment you are on deputation as a deputy director, Bangladesh Betar.
Yeah.
So, question is, to apply the knowledge from your expertise and knowledge obtained from the PhD degree, do you need to change the ministry, or you can be in the same ministry? I think that is the Ministry of Information you are working at the present moment, but your work is more related to local government, I think. So how things will happen here?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and also tricky question. So yeah, I'm working in Bangladesh Public Service Broadcasting Organization, which is Bangladesh Better at the moment. And while working in Bangladesh Better, I was engaged in various activities like SDG related activities, climate change related activities, climate change adaptation, resilience, how to build resilient communities to address the climate change problem. And in most of my career, I was posted in Dhaka, and basically then I thought, yeah, Dhaka city, if I could make the city better, with the planning and program, then actually I thought this thing. And being a broadcaster or a member of public service broadcasting organization, we actually do this work, how to address the various kinds of problems we are facing at the moment in the city and also the outside of the country, is basically from the climate change kind of stuff, or natural hazards or disaster, these kind of things. And I have the vast experience on this kind of activities, doing program, making, planning of program, radio program. That's why I have got this kind of exposure, and I was engaged in various, policy level activities. I joined many, ministerial meetings and also workshops, symposium, a lot of things. So here, we actually, being a public service broadcaster, we actually disseminate the governmental activities. We also, contribute to the implement of the government planning policies. So actually, we are not far from the area sustainability, climate change, SDGs. We are working very closely. The people of Bangladesh better, they all are working very closely with the SDGs, climate change adaptation, development, a lot of things. So I think doing PhD in an area of sustainability and urban planning is not, I shouldn't say it's far from my current job responsibility, because I am basically working in the SDG goal 11, sorry, SDG goal 11, sustainable cities and communities. So we are working very hard, Bangladesh working is very hard to make our communities sustainable, to make the city better, a better living place. And from this perspective, actually, and my current PhD focus is on the planning and policy. And being a government official, I am involved in planning and policy. And now I am working in Bangladesh better, but maybe in near future I'll switch to another ministry. There is a scope, there is an opportunity to become the deputy secretary. Then I can be posted in any ministry of Bangladesh government. So I think at this level of knowledge, the PhD knowledge, if I get the skills, knowledge, and experience from my PhD, I could utilize this knowledge. Even if I don't work for the government of Bangladesh, if I am engaged in the private sector in Bangladesh, if I engage in the third sector, if I make an entrepreneurship, establish an entrepreneurship, I can contribute to. I am developing my skills, knowledge, network. So why? The main thing, whether I am going back to my country. So once I'll be in my country, if I don't stay in the government service, it doesn't mean that I cannot contribute to my country. And so I can doing private job, or doing research job, even academic job, I can contribute to my country from this experience and knowledge and skills I'm acquiring from my PhD journey. And yeah, that's all about. So I think, and one of my very learned person here, he told me, he's from America. He told me, like, yeah, you're from Bangladesh, so why should you go back to why you are thinking you are going back to join your previous service? If you think you can contribute more in the NGO sector, you can join there. If you think more about to contribute the education sector, research sector, you will join there. That means if you join there, you can contribute to your country. My purpose, my goal is to contribute to my country. So anywhere in my country I am posted, I am involved in the working, so I can contribute to my country. My purpose is to contribute my country, to provide service to the people from any corner I can contribute. Even by establishing entrepreneurship, I can develop some new skills, new business on sustainability, on circular economy, on climate change issues. A lot of things we need to do. Yeah, that's why I don't think so. It's it's a big thing, whether it is well messed with my current responsibilities or not.
Thank you for explaining the matter. Actually, yes, if we are inside the country, we can work in many different sectors, and we can contribute for the country. But there is always you best place for a person, and there are some other place where you can contribute good or very good. Hope Bangladesh will be benefited for your knowledge and skills developed from your PhD. Now, I want to focus on future PhD students. So I'll ask some questions from their perspective. First question:
Yeah.
what are the advantages and disadvantages for a BCS cadre of doing PhD? Uh, if there is any you want to mention, uh, especially my question is whether you will get any point from your PhD for your promotion.
At the moment, in terms of promotional prospect, there is no additional advantage doing a PhD, because PhD or masters, these degrees are not considered for promotion. But this is written rules or regulation. But still, when you have a PhD degree, or you have a international exposure, you will have certain other benefits. uh, you'll have a good exposure in your working area, and when you will have a good skills or knowledge, then the high officials will call you for various work or for various activities, and yeah, then you can contribute more effectively. But as I mentioned, for promotion there is no benefit, but for satisfaction, for doing the work more effectively and efficiently, I think it's really important. So the skill I have already acquired after coming here, so it has enhanced my confidence. It has enhanced my understanding of things. The way I used to think the matters, now I think the matters differently, certainly, because I have done a lot of studies from various perspectives on various contexts. So now I know which is good or bad. At least my analytical power has been improved by doing this kind of activities. So, and I have got the research background and knowledge, and now I know. So while taking any decision, I think at least we needed some sort of research or data or information. Based on that, we can make the decision more accurate, and we can provide the service to the people more efficiently and effectively. So these all are actually needed, and I have got a very good network all over the world now. Almost, I have got so many people in the public service area, in research area, in industrial sector. So I can utilize this connection while working in my country, for my country. So yeah, so these are really important. I think doing a PhD degree in a country like Australia, so getting skills and knowledge and partnership, these all are really important for the government of Bangladesh. That is why I mentioned you, government of Bangladesh now have introduced some PhD program for the civil servants. This is the main reason why government is going with this kind of program. Obviously there is a benefit of the country, yeah, of the service.
Okay, thank you for clearing the matter. I think most people will be aware because they have different information gap perception difference, that what is the usefulness of getting the PhD degree of the government officials. So I would like to ask another question, especially what is your suggestions from your experience for the future PhDs from the Bangladesh Civil Service? What suggestion you will give to them?
Yeah, my suggestion is I welcome the future civil servants, those who are thinking to get involved in PhD research, those who are interested. If you're not interested, you don't need to go for PhD. So when you are interested to improve your knowledge, your understanding, your skills, your network, your expertise, your professional skills, everything. So you should go for PhD or or higher degrees like PhD, research, master's by research, something like that. So the way now I'm thinking the world. So before starting my PhD, I didn't, think the things like the way I'm thinking. So it has actually changed a lot of things in my, thinking process. So I think, yeah, when you will have a strong intention to do something better for the country, and when you feel like that, no, yes, I have the knowledge, skills, I have already completed masters and joined Bangladesh Civil Service. Yeah, of course, we are really talent. We can provide the better service. But now we are living in the 21st century. So the world is very competitive. So we need to negotiate with lot of international actors. Yeah, so to to do the effective negotiation, to do the effective, to build your confidence. So for all these kind of activities, if you do a degree like masters by research or PhD or other masters in abroad, in an advanced country, of course it will enhance, it will boost your confidence, your skills, your worldview, everything. Yeah, this is really important. I think those who want to do the PhD, so my advice is not to be delayed. So as soon as possible, just go for it. Try to get a PhD scholarship either from the government of Bangladesh or from the international fund. So it's better to get funding from international than our government can actually uh, provide more opportunities for the more civil servants. So yeah, so but we can explore the funding from both domestic funding and international funding. There are a lot of opportunities of students. So if you can explore these opportunities, you will get at least one of them, either from the domestic context or from the international funding.
Okay, thank you. Yes, go for PhD as soon as possible. After PhD, there is better chance to move faster in your career ladder. Mm, and so we should go for that one as soon as possible. Now, if people wants to do PhD in Australia,
Hmm.
what are the steps from where they have to start? If you briefly mention these steps, I think
Okay.
that will be helpful for the future aspirants.
Okay. The first and foremost thing is to find a potential supervisor. This is the first thing. Second thing, you need the IELTS score. The third thing, you need a scholarship, because PhD journey is a long journey, 4 years, like around 3.5 to 4 years journey. So it's very expensive. So without scholarship, so it's really impossible, I think. So finding a supervisor, uh, meeting the criteria of admission like IELTS score, and then number three is uh, the scholarship, which is really important. So if you want to find a supervisor, So first, my advice is just choose your field of interest. So where do you feel interest? Which area you want to do PhD? Once you select your broader area, then you do a Google research. You can Google through find potential supervisors from various international universities. If you want to do PhD in Australia, you can go for the Australian university's website and make a research in your area of interest and find the professor profiles, and if you find the match, you just knock them, you send them mail and show your interest. So I think it's not a big deal. So within a month, you can manage a professor. From my experience, I managed at a time 2 professors. So yeah, so it's not a big deal within a month. So you can manage it. And so when professor, agrees to supervise you, that means you have already achieved your first step. Then you have to formally submit your application for the admission, and for that you need IELTS score, and you need certificate, mark sheet. So you have all these things at the moment. So then you formally submit your application. It will take like a month to review your application, and then they will give you the the offer letter, admission offer. And at the same time, you have to submit for scholarship. If you want to get an international scholarship, then you, like in case of Australia, I can say like you can apply for RTP, Research and Training Program Scholarship, which is for PhD and Master by Research students. So actually, I got this scholarship RTP. I came here under Australian government scholarship, so it's RTP. Research and training program scholarships. So I didn't actually, very interestingly, I didn't need to, I didn't apply for the scholarship in a separately. I just mentioned in my admission application, yeah, I want to be considered the PhD scholarship. And then when they offered me the when they offered admission, I got the admission letter. Then they told me, okay, you have to wait for another 2 to 3 months because there is the next round of scholarship is going on. So we'll consider if you can compete and if you are eligible to get the scholarship. And fortunately, I got this opportunity, and it was very easy to get the scholarship and admission even within 3 to 4 months. The whole process for me, it took like 3 to 4 months. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have mentioned 3 vital steps for PhD in Australia. So another question about Australia. How is Australia culturally and weather-wise for Bangladeshi people? Why Bangladeshi people should choose Australia for their higher study?
First of all, Australia is a country, there are a lot of good universities, first of all. And not only for Bangladesh, at the moment, students from around 170 countries stays in Australia. So it's a good destination for all, international students for their higher study in Australia. They choose Australia. And the city I am living at the moment, the Melbourne, which is called one of the world's most livable city, and which is also known as the education city. So there are many good universities in Australia, within Melbourne and across the Australia. So yeah, it's a good choice to come here in Australia because it's a cosmopolitan city. You will experience the taste of multicultural environment. You'll find people from all over the world are coming here doing study and doing work. So it's the huge vibe you will find in the city. So it's a multicultural city. And another thing, the food culture, as you mentioned, cultural food, in terms of food culture, Australia is very rich, especially the Melbourne is called, it's the, capital, food capital of Australia. And also like sometimes we call Melbourne is, coffee capital of Australia. So you'll find everywhere, every corner of in the CBD, coffee shop, coffee corner, you will find plenty of varieties, many different types of coffee and food from all over the world. You will find a combination of like Mexican food, Italian food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Bangladeshi food, Pakistani food. I mean, all types of food you will find. You can have the taste here if you like. Yeah, so it's a huge vibe of the city. So you will really enjoy the city here, living and staying here, doing education, and their education is the world class education. So yeah, and the weather, as you mentioned, weather, yeah, it's very unpredictable weather especially in Melbourne. The weather, it is very changeable, so fluctuate like when you go out in the morning and you feel like it's hot, but maybe after 1 hour you feel very cold. So you need to carry an extra, sweater or warm clothes when you go out. So or when you go out with a jacket, but maybe after 1 or 2 hours you need to take off your jacket. Like this, very unpredictable. That's why the people here in Australia, they compare Australian weather with the women mood. So it changes very rapidly and fluctuates very rapidly. It's kind of mysterious. So but really it's very romantic weather, very nice weather. You will enjoy the sun, you will enjoy the cold, but it's not extreme cold or extreme hot. Other than like in terms of hot, it's like around 6 to 7 days you will find it's very hot in Australia during the summer season. But otherwise, it's really comfortable. And during winter, the temperature goes below sometimes, late night, 3 degree, 4 degrees, something like that. But on an average, the temperature remains between 7 to 11 during the winter season, and summer during summer 20 to 33, in between 20 to 33. So, but it's really comfortable and it's really enjoyable city. Even you feel too hot or too cold, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your physical or health well-being. Sometimes I feel like when I came first, I felt like that, oh, I am feeling so cold, maybe I'll get fever. But then I think I found that no fever, no cold, nothing. So this is the advantage. I think the weather is good. Yeah, I should say.
Thank you, Dr. Tareq Zahirul Haque.
Not
I
yet.
think we have got very clear view why government officials should go for PhD, how they can contribute after getting PhD from any field. In many different sectors, they have scope to contribute. And you have also explained the steps for PhD in Australia and cultural advantage and whether suitability for Bangladeshi people. So we are almost at the end of this conversation. Mm, now floor is open. Whether you want to add any more thing for our future uh, PhD students, especially from the mm, Public Service Commission, public service sector, or the students who are just finishing their graduation bachelor degree in Bangladesh.
Thank you. Yeah, as I mentioned before, yeah, if you have a strong intention in research, you have a strong intention doing higher studies like Masters by Research or PhD in an advanced country like Australia, you should go for it. There is a plenty of opportunities in terms of admission offer, in terms of scholarship. So if you really want to improve your knowledge, theoretical and practical, your skills, your international network, you should go for it. And today's world is very competitive. So by doing this kind of degrees, you will be competitive, and you can compete any students anywhere in the world. You can compete with any student of the advanced country. You can go anywhere. Uh, you can be engaged. You can be hired into the industry, not only in Bangladesh, not only in Australia. You can be hired by the industry or by the government sector, maybe from US, maybe from UK. Your door will be open. So now the world is very globalized. So we are the global citizens. So I think at this stage of globalization, we are the global citizens. So we should explore the global experiences, skills, and knowledge to compete ourselves. And ultimately, in return, actually, if we can achieve this kind of skills, knowledge, and experience, ultimately, when we will go back to our country, we can provide a very good service to our citizens. We can do some sort of works or activities that will address our existing problems, to enhance our current development trajectory. So even if you stay in abroad, you can help in many ways your country if you have the strong intention. My question is whether you have the strong intention to develop your own country, to develop your home country. Yes, obviously, we all have this kind of intention. So it does not mean that when you come to abroad for higher study, even you stay in abroad, you can do anything. Like here, Dr. Moniruddin Ahmed Badal, he is now working in Saudi Arabia in a renowned educational institute, but he's serving Bangladesh. He's scientific Bangladesh. He's working for the betterment of the Bangladesh. So this is how you can contribute to your country. If you have the strong intention, you can contribute to country staying from anywhere in the world. So I think everyone should grab these opportunities, these scopes. The windows are open. So now just you grab this opportunity if you really want to make change happen. Yeah.
Thank you for making the point that uh, location is not a big factor or obstacle if you want to contribute in your country. Actually, we can contribute for our country directly, just focusing and working that is solely related to our country, or even if we contribute to the global pool of knowledge, then people from anywhere in the world get benefited. So our country also get benefited. Thank you for making this point. To your country. And thank you for giving time to Scientific Bangladesh. I hope Bangladeshi people from the government service and future PhD students will be benefited from your story and insights. Uh, Thank you again. And we are closing our session. Hopefully, in future, we'll talk with you in any other topic, on any other topic, on any other issue. Until then, stay fine, stay healthy, and make optimum contribution for Bangladesh and for the world.
Thank you, Dr. Moniruddin Ahmed Badal, for having me. It was really nice talking to you. And thanks a lot those who joined with us, and hope to see you all again in the near future. Thank you, everyone. Have a great time.
So we are done with our brief interview. So especially I have intention to interview few more uh, public service officials from Bangladesh who are doing PhD. So if any of your friend or anyone interested to share their story and insights, they are welcome. You can forward them to me, or anyone interested can communicate with me. With that, we are finishing today's session. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much, you too. Bye. Allah Hafiz.